Welcome back to my channel, Travel with Nature. Today we are taking a short tour of the town of McIntosh, Florida. Step back in time to McIntosh, a small Victorian town located in north-central Florida approximately 20 miles south of Gainesville. Experience the graciousness of old Florida while lingering in the shade created by a canopy of century-old live oak trees. Little has been recorded about the McIntosh area prior to the beginning of its development. An account of plantation life in the vicinity of McIntosh is given in a diary kept by George Houstoun in 1851. Houstoun also writes of a plantation owned by Colonel John Houstoun McIntosh, which existed from the early 1820s until its destruction by the Indians during the Second Seminole War 1835 to 1842. A description of the Indians burning Colonel McIntosh's sugar mill is included in an account dating back to the time. While several deeds record his ownership of lands around McIntosh, Colonel McIntosh never actually owned the town site. However, his colorful reputation while serving with the Georgia 4th Regiment during the Second Seminole Indian War, plus ownership of the plantation, may have suggested the name for the town. On February 2, 1849, Nehemiah Brush, a merchant from Baltimore, bought a large portion including 4,000 acres of the Arredondo Spanish land grant that today encompasses McIntosh at a government auction held in nearby McIntosh. His son, Colonel Charles Brush, along with Eugene and Julia Brush Van Ness, developed the area that today encompasses McIntosh into building lots and 10-acre plots for growing citrus. At that time, oranges were shipped by ferry from Orange Lake to Palatka and then north by way of the St. Johns River. In 1881, following the Civil War and Reconstruction, the Florida Southern Railway, later the Seaboard Railway Co., was constructed in McIntosh, aiding in the transport of locally produced vegetables and oranges to distant markets, and additionally provided passenger travel. The completion of the Florida Southern Railroad was a significant occurrence, as it stimulated the development of much of the interior of peninsular Florida, and the McIntosh Depot was built in 1885. The residential areas of McIntosh developed west of the railroad and the early business areas because higher ground was more desirable for homes. During the period from the late 1880s to the early 1900s, frame houses were constructed in these areas. Built mostly of hard yellow pine, the predominant architectural style of the district is frame vernacular or cracker, with styles evident of Gothic revival, Queen Inn, and bungalow. Horses were still the chief means of transportation, but by 1895, McIntosh boasted a doctor, postmaster, Western Union, a church, meat store, school, drugstore, ice house, millinery shop, the McIntosh Hotel, Christian mercantile store, grocery stores, Masonic Hall, and packing houses. The town was incorporated by an act of the legislature 1913, with the charter providing for a mayor and town council. From the late Spanish era of the 19th century up until the 1980s, agriculture was the main source of economy. The town's agricultural economy prospered in the early 20th century, and the economy was aided by tourists who came by railroad to hunt and fish at Orange Lake. Following several disastrous freezes, commercial citrus ventures were mainly abandoned, and the last train passed through McIntosh in 1974. Farmers diversified into cattle and horses, with pastures replacing the vegetable fields and orange groves. By the end of 1923, the North Marion News was published weekly in town, with the last issue being printed in 1942, the old Wire Road, a dirt wagon and stagecoach route, and the present U.S. Highway 441 was eventually widened and paved, along with Avenue F and Avenue G, and the commercial district moved from near the depot and railroad easement up to the highway. Unlike most towns and cities in Florida, the town of McIntosh has changed little since the 1930s. The McIntosh Historic District was designated on November 18, 1983, with 68 sites listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The district extends west from 4th Street to 10th Street and south from Avenue D to Avenue H. The McIntosh Historic District is significant for its tangible, largely unaltered, representation of an important period in the history of Florida. In 1991, McIntosh hosted the movie filming of Doc Hollywood starring Michael J. Fox and Woody Harrelson. Clustered within a block can have along U.S. Highway 441 in McIntosh are 3 extremely rustic antique shops where enthusiasts can while away the hours. Old Time Florida is located in a huge old building and features an ever-changing inventory. Before entering, make sure you take a picture beside the blue buggy on the porch. Gina's Treasures and Antiques, set in a smaller storefront, has more of a thrift store feel. Antiquers are sure to find unique items, along with some bargains too. A jewel in this antique county of Marion, McIntosh has quickly become an antique hunter's paradise, as it stands along the antique trail on the main U.S. Interstate 441. The town boasts quaint local businesses, a variety of amenities, and unique shops just a short stroll away. For nature lovers and outdoor enthusiasts, McIntosh is in close proximity to the famous Orange and Loch Loosa lakes. Known for their unspoiled scenery and bass fishing, they serve as perfect destinations for leisurely strolls or family picnics. The town's residents often enjoy relaxing boat rides while basking in the stunning views these lakes provide. Residents and visitors also relish in wildlife sightings such as deer, turkey, and cranes that frequently visit the surrounding pasture and woods. Lastly, McIntosh is a family-friendly town, valuing education with the option for children to attend Alachua County schools. With Gainesville, Ocala, UF Health, and VA hospitals all within a quick 20 to 30-minute reach, and with easy access to I-75, McIntosh provides a convenient location for commutes while still offering a peaceful small-town atmosphere. In essence, McIntosh, Florida, offers potential homeowners a taste of serene, historic, and convenient living with a sense of tight-knit community, where peaceful rural living and convenience gradually intermingle with the natural beauty and rich history of the town. It's not just a place to live, it's a lifestyle. Thank you for joining me on this tour of McIntosh, Florida. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Safe travels!